All right, so serious concerns raised there for Eskom technicians and their safety. Well, joining me now in studio is King Sibiya from Lungelo Lethu Human Rights Foundation, which represents Soweto residents. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Sibiya.
Thank you so much.
You may have heard in that interview there that Eskom technicians are scared to come to Soweto, to look at the issues that are causing the power to trip, to supply your residents with power. That can't be right, can it?
No, it can't be right at all. I think first and foremost, I want to put this on record very clearly. You know, the problem is between us and Eskom. We are owning Eskom. It's a parastatus. So we can't be against Eskom. We can't be against Eskom. That's the first point that I want to deal with it, you know. Secondly, the issue of a protest in Soweto, not only Soweto, but in particular areas where they are vandalized, you know, and so on. I think those things are not right. Because
who's doing them?
No, it's a community.
Who's taking technicians hostage?
No. Currently now, I might not be aware of that, but my point of departure is that Eskom belongs to us. We need to safeguard the equipment of Eskom, because if we demolish those, including the workers at Eskom, they are there to work. So we must protect them rather than hostage them. So
what's the solution? These technicians need to go in to check why the power keeps on tripping. How do we protect them and make sure that their job gets done?
No, this is simple. Let Eskom come on table, talk with us. This is what we wanted from the onset. We wouldn't be where we are if Eskom was willing to have an engagement with us. You know, it's a communication between us and Eskom. Once we can establish the question of communication, Eskom will be free to do whatever he wants to do. We need an electricity, but we can't separate ourselves. We can't live without electricity, truly speaking. We have people now, for instance, when I go to court, there are people that are living with oxygen. So can you understand that? Three of them has passed on.
So let's start to try and unpack this. Eskom is saying that part of the reason power keeps going off is there are illegal connections, and this is contributing to this power outages. Can they come in and disconnect those? Because it seems as if a lot of people don't want those illegal connections disconnected.
No, my point is, anyone that doesn't have electricity, understand me very well, Ndoro. If I don't have electricity, I go to Eskom's offices. Why I'm doing that? For simple reason. You see? I was saying, even when we go to court, we said, Eskom, those people who are tampered with your equipment, we are willing to assist you. Let the criminal be arrested. Because once we don't do that, innocent people are going to suffer. You know, for one apparent reason. For instance, now, to those people, even don't have electricity, some of them are up to date in terms of payment to Eskom, but they have suffered because somebody has tampered.
So what about the people that haven't paid? And that must be a lot for there to be a bill of, what, 18 billion?
Yeah, now let me unpack the 18 billion issue. I think the central point here, it's 18 billion. That's where now, for instance, even myself, I had to stood up, you know, as an activist. You know, when we are owing Eskom 18 billion, you can't be quiet. You can't fold your hands. But you need to take initiatives. As a leader, as a citizen that is responsible. Eskom, how do we reach 18 billion rands? How do assist these 18 billion rands can be paid back? That's a central point. So if we invite Eskom, we, for numerous occasions, invite Eskom, said, these are the table. Remember that with this country was not taken by bazooka or by an AK, but this was negotiated on the table. So the best solution in South Africa is to go on the table.
So what will you put on the table to Eskom?
I'll put on the table to Eskom and say, call us as leaders to assist Eskom. Because that's what we want. Firstly, we want the prepaid meters. Secondly,
some of people don't want prepaid meters.
But you see, there's no other way. You know, there must be a prepaid meters, because obviously, you see, there are issues here. If we said we don't want prepaid meters, there are issues here. First and foremost, there are people that are receiving electricity, we're supposed to receive electricity, you know, subsidy, you know, what you call it indigent police, which is, the law said there's a section that is called Municipality Systems Act, Section 73. This Section 73 deals with people that cannot afford to pay electricity. Single parents, unemployment.
Okay. All right. So prepaid meters, you want them in, but you're going to have to deal with some residents who don't want them. But you
correct.
think you can convince them.
Correct.
What else can be done?
But furthermore,
Yeah.
you know, the issue of prepaid is an option. Is an option. Whether I can go for prepaid, but what is important, Eskom come and communicate with us. Tell us about the advantage and disadvantage of the prepaid and consume and local. Secondly, let's look at other ways, other alternatives.
Would you like
for
some
instance,
of this debt written off, some kind of amnesty, and say, look, from today, let's start from a clean slate?
Correct, but you see the point that is danger that on that. My whole point, whether we can cut this thing, we can look at, but let's engage the community. The community must be empowered. You know, if the community is not empowered, I'll have a problem.
But are they listening to you, Mr. Sibiya? I hear you come as the representative, but some of the things that you're suggesting, some of the people's residents are not going to go for. What are you going to do?
Okay. Now, it's simple. All of us, we are using electricity. It's true, whether we like it or not. So, secondly, we need to pay for what are we consuming. Full stop. There's no debate about that.
And then illegal connections, you must take them
They
out.
must, correct. Simple. Take Tinawila Sis, Eskom. These are tax. They must go to
So
jail.
bottom line, if Eskom comes to the table, discusses with you, you will protect their technicians and you'll help them solve all the problems.
Correct. I'll even invite other leaders. You see currently now what we are doing now. We are trying to get 1 million signatures for representation in Soweto. Who represent, who don't represent. You see, so that with this issue of representation, it becomes clear. You see.
Mr. Sibiya, we've run out of time, but thanks very much indeed for coming through. I hope that Eskom's heard you and that you find some kind of solution.
No. My job, Mr. Ender, it's a human right.
Right.
So the human rights are, you need to strike a balance. You must be fair.
Yes.
You see, so when you deal with human rights, as a leader, take responsibility.
Okay. Mr. Sibiya, thank you so much indeed. That's Mr. King Sibiya.